John Lippy's Week 13 Picks of the Week for the 2016 NFL season.
All right, I had another successful week last week. I was 13-3, improved to 106 and 70-2 on the year for a 596 win percentage, moved up to 146 out of 311. Okay, to own my losses, the Chiefs beat the Broncos by 3 at the very end of overtime. I was just praying one of the teams won. A tie would be the worst thing possible for the Miami Dolphins. So I didn't care. I was willing to take the loss for the Broncos. The Chiefs won because the Broncos missed the field goal there, and I was like, oh my God, is this going to end in a tie? And then luckily the Chiefs got in field goal range and kicked a field goal to win the game. And now the Dolphins are the 6th seed in the playoffs if it ended today. So I'm very happy about that. I'll take that loss all day. Next, congrats to everyone who bet on the Bucs that thought the Bucs could beat the Seahawks, and they did. The Bucs beat the Seahawks by 9. I doubted it. Others didn't. So congrats to the Bucs. That's a pretty big win to beat the Seahawks. Although I guess I went against my rule of coast-to-coast games, but I watched some of the game. The Bucs played hard. McCoy is a beast. The Chargers beat the Texans by 8. All right, let's get to the games. Thursday Night Football. Dallas Cowboys at Minnesota Vikings. My pick, Cowboys. Both teams played the prior week on Thursday on Thanksgiving, so there's no advantage there. But the Cowboys are clearly the better team right now. I'd be surprised if the Vikings won, but it is a home game for the Vikings, but I'm still going with the Cowboys. Detroit Lions at New Orleans Saints. My pick, Saints. Every time I wanted to go pick the Lions, I kept saying, no, I got to pick the Saints at home. Wisdom says to pick the Lions, but I don't know what it is. My mind keeps saying, pick the Saints. But then my mind says, but the Lions have Anquan Bolden and Golden Tate. And I'm like, yeah, but the Saints are at home. The Saints score so many points. I'm going with the Saints, but man, I really don't know. Los Angeles Rams at New England Patriots. My pick, Patriots. If the Rams win, I'll be happy, but I'm not going to pick them. But I'll be happy for the Dolphins' sake. Go Rams, but I'm picking Patriots. Denver Broncos at Jacksonville Jaguars. My pick, Broncos. Now, the Broncos did play nearly 5 quarters against the Chiefs, but they got to win to keep pace to make the playoffs. Going with the Broncos. Plus, they're the better team by far. San Francisco 49ers at Chicago Bears. My pick, Bears. This is one of the more interesting 1-10 versus 2-9 matchups I've seen. I thought more about this game than any other game this week. Colin Kaepernick played really good against the Dolphins, and Carlos Hyde's a good running back. But the Bears have a new quarterback with Matt Barkley, who did way better than I think anyone thought he would. Now, will that just mean that he was a big surprise that the Titans just weren't ready for? Or is he actually a pretty good quarterback? The Bears are playing at home. They have 2 wins. The 49ers have 1 win. I initially went with the Niners, but I'm going to go with the home team, the Bears. But Colin Kaepernick played himself proud against the Dolphins. But he got bent over backwards by Kiko Alonso, and maybe he's injured. I don't know. That was a pretty good hit. Going with the Bears at home. Houston Texans at Green Bay Packers. My pick, Packers. The Pack is back. Kansas City Chiefs at Atlanta Falcons. My pick, Falcons. The Chiefs played 5 quarters. The Falcons score so many points. Miami Dolphins at Baltimore Ravens. My pick, Ravens. I will gladly lose this one, but I'm going to just pick the Ravens just for good luck for the Dolphins. If it was a home game for the Dolphins, I would have gone with the Dolphins because we'll never forget Greg Camarillo's big game, and that was at home. But since it's in Baltimore, going with the Ravens. Philadelphia Eagles at Cincinnati Bengals. My pick, Eagles. At any point of the season, I still would have gone with the Eagles over the Bengals. Buffalo Bills at Oakland Raiders. My pick, Raiders. Now, Derek Carr's fingers dislocated in 2 places, but he's got that Luke Skywalker glove. And I think when he's got that glove on, and it's black, and it's the Oakland Raiders, and I think it just makes him excited to play, and I think he wants to win with the hurt hand. And since Star Wars is coming out this month, you got to go with Derek Carr and the Raiders. I almost went with the Bills. But then I thought, okay, well, it's coast to coast. Bills are going to California. Got to stay with the Raiders. And I think LaShawn McCoy had his big field day last week, and then he'll probably tame out this week. So I'm going with Derek Carr, a.k.a. Luke Skywalker. And laugh if you want for my reasons, but recall that the Cowboys did win on Thanksgiving, in the spirit of Jason Garrett's big game. And the Lions won in the spirit of Barry Sanders on Thanksgiving. So I'm enchanting the Raiders in the spirit of Luke Skywalker in Star Wars and Rogue One, Derek Carr, and the Raiders will take out the Bills. Tampa Bay Buccaneers at San Diego Chargers. My pick, Chargers. Yep, I feel so peer pressured into picking the Bucs, but it's coast to coast. We're talking west coast of Florida all the way to San Diego, California. I know. They beat the Chiefs in Kansas City. They beat the Seahawks at home soundly. I mean, they owned that game against the Seahawks. Seahawks didn't stand a chance. But Phillip Rivers is an old-timer. He's from the era where no one respected the Bucs. And I think it's just going to not be in his soul to allow himself to lose to Tampa in San Diego. That's what I'm going on. I'm going on old-timer Phillip Rivers refusing to allow the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to win in his house. And that's all I'm going by. That's what keeps coming to my head. When I see Chargers versus Bucs, I just see Phillip Rivers. And he's like, not in my house. Not in my house. We'll see. The Bucs looked heavily dominating versus the Seahawks. And I've lost so many games this year betting against the Bucs. And I'm going to do it again. Chargers. New York Giants at Pittsburgh Steelers. My pick, G-Men. The Giants defense is going to be able to handle Roethlisberger, Le'Veon Bell, and Antonio Brown. Those guys are good, but they're going to need a little bit more than that. And I think the Giants offense can handle the Steelers. It's in Pittsburgh, but I don't think Eli Manning's impressed. So I'm going with the Giants. Washington Redskins at Arizona Cardinals. My pick, Redskins. I originally chose the Cardinals because this is a coast-to-coast game and the Arizona climate is a lot different than the Washington, D.C. climate. And I was concerned that Jordan Reed was injured. He may play the game. I'm not sure. But what I didn't realize, but I realize now, is that they got Vernon Davis. So if Jordan Reed's not there, that just means Vernon Davis will get the ball a little bit more. Deshaun Jackson, Pierre Garçon, the Redskins are just a better team than the Cardinals are. Going with the Redskins, even though I should take the Cardinals at home. Carolina Panthers at Seattle Seahawks. My pick, Seahawks. Sure, we saw the Seahawks get handled by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but that was in Tampa. This game is in Seattle. The 12th man and the Seahawks got to save face. They're not going to lose 2 in a row. Monday Night Football. Indianapolis Colts at New York Jets. My pick, Jets. I like Frank Gore as a running back. He's one of my favorite, but I think the Jets line will be able to handle him. I was impressed with Scott Tolzien in relief of Andrew Luck. He may still play. Not sure if Andrew Luck is still under concussion protocol. I think it was T.Y. Hilton. One of the receivers on the Colts got hit pretty hard in that game on Thursday on Thanksgiving. But you just figure that Fitzmagic, he's got to do something at home to save his career. I'm going with the Jets at home. On bye this week, we have the Cleveland Browns and the Tennessee Titans. Well, that'll wrap it up for Week 13. Go Miami, 6th seed. You're in the driver's seat. Take out the Ravens and enjoy your Sunday.